In your book here, this All Things Flee Thee, For Thou Fleest Me, a cry to the churches and their leaders to stop running from the nonviolent Jesus and his nonviolent way. There's a picture on this cover, and perhaps we'll be able to show that to our audience. What does this represent? What is this picture of? And how does this picture come into play in the discussion of faith and violence?
I found this picture about 1.5 years ago when I was researching the cover for the book in the National Archives in Washington. It is a picture taken almost immediately after the bombing of Nagasaki. Now, Nagasaki, what you can see in the picture is you see the destroyed Nagasaki Cathedral. Now, the Nagasaki Cathedral was the largest church in all the Orient. The community of Nagasaki, which was around the church, was the largest Christian community in all of Japan. Indeed, it was the foundational community. It was the first Christian community in Japan, was founded by St. Francis Xavier in 1549 at Nagasaki. Mm-hmm. And so Nagasaki was an entirely, in this Urakami section of Nagasaki, it was literally entirely Christian. Mm-hmm. The plane that dropped the bomb on Nagasaki, the boxcar, was led by a Catholic man, Charles Sweeney, had an entirely Christian bomb crew. No Jews, no Muslims, no atheists in the plane. The plane dropped the bomb using the cathedral as the ground zero point. Mm-hmm. And the plane dropped the bomb on the oldest, the original, and the largest Christian community in Japan, devastating the church, physically, the physical church, absolutely devastating, and literally wiping out in 9 seconds about 40,000 Christians. The picture is symbolic of what the church has been doing to itself, what the mystical body has been doing to itself since the time that the church, approximately in the 4th century, began to justify homicidal violence and enmity as consistent with the teaching of Jesus. The church has been ripping itself apart. The mystical body has been ripping itself apart. The hands have been pulling out the eyes. The fist have been beating on the ears. We are literally dismembering ourselves. Yet what we know is that the Last Supper, Jesus' great high priestly prayer, was for unity. Jesus' explicit teaching, the only commandment in the New Testament that's unique to Jesus, he gives at the Last Supper. Yes. I give you a new commandment. Love one another as I have loved you. By this they will know you are my disciples. But for 1,700 years, and that's what this picture symbolizes, the church has literally been destroying itself. It's not the Jews have destroyed it. It's not that Muslims have or atheists. So that whether it's the picture of Catholics, Christians dropping atomic bombs on Christians in Nagasaki, or whether it's British Christians dropping napalm and firebombs on top of Lutheran Catholic Christians in Cologne and Dresden, or we could go on and on. Huh? Yes. It's the same thing. The absolute refusal to identify on the part of the Christian community with the universality, our oneness in Christ, and placing beyond our oneness in Christ, superior to it, our local nationalisms, whether they be American or British or Japanese or whatever the case may be. The consequences have been, of course, that the witness to the world is basically a witness that says, these people do not believe what their leader, what their God says to do.